The diplomatic initiative led by President Donald Trump to secure a rapid peace breakthrough in Ukraine before the holiday season appears to be losing momentum as negotiations face significant hurdles and revisions. Reports indicate that the original 28-point peace plan has been heavily modified following backlash in Washington and Kyiv, with Ukrainian officials confirming the framework is no longer the same text that was initially proposed. While the White House has remained silent on the specifics of the changes, Kremlin aide Yuri Yushakov revealed that Russia is now carefully reviewing the draft proposal, noting that while many elements are acceptable to Moscow, major revisions are still required to meet their security demands. Russian presidential spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated that the Kremlin is closely monitoring the amendments to the plan, but emphasized that no official communication has been finalized, even as reports circulate regarding parallel discussions between American and Russian officials in Abu Dhabi. Former United States Ambassador to Nato Kurt Volker offered a sharp assessment of the situation, warning that the fundamentals of the conflict have not changed and arguing that President Vladimir Putin will not simply alter his intentions based on diplomatic incentives or the threats of sanctions alone. Compounding the complexity of these negotiations is a deepening rift between European Union leadership and the new administration in Washington. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas faced a severe diplomatic setback after United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio reportedly refused to schedule a bilateral meeting with her, a move that effectively sidelines the top diplomat of the bloc at a critical juncture. This snub has exacerbated tensions within the Western alliance as Russia implements a calculated two-track diplomatic strategy designed to exploit these divisions. Moscow has launched an aggressive information campaign targeting European Commission officials while simultaneously signaling a preference for direct engagement with the United States. Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova publicly dismantled the peace conditions proposed by Brussels, citing historical precedents to accuse the European Union of hypocrisy, while the Kremlin made it clear they intend to bypass European mediators in favor of a direct political resolutions with the Trump administration. As the geopolitical landscape fractures, Central European leaders are increasingly voicing opposition to the current trajectory of Western support for Ukraine. Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Selo warned that the situation for Kyiv is deteriorating daily and accused the European government of undermining the United States-backed peace efforts. Tensions escalated further when Hungarian officials Balázs Hezsebegi and Jesely Gulyas accused the Ukrainian leadership of overseeing a wartime mafia that misappropriated European aid funds, citing scandalous allegations involving contract skimming and requesting a full investigation before any further financing is approved. Meanwhile, Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico has pivoted his country's diplomatic focus away from the conflict in the east, announcing the opening of a new embassy in Africa and criticizing Brussels for allowing the war in Ukraine to overshadow vital engagement with the global south. Fico argued that African leaders often possess a clearer understanding of global politics than their European counterparts and called for reforms at the United Nations to reflect these realities. Despite the pessimistic outlook from some quarters, a sudden wave of reports suggests a potential breakthrough may be emerging from the chaos of the revised proposals. Sources indicate that Ukraine has agreed in principle to a new 19-point framework that replaces the controversial 28-point plan, which was previously criticized for containing maximum demands that favored Russia. The revised deal reportedly draws a strict no-go zone between the belligerents while removing some of the harshest terms originally drafted. However, the rapid pace of these developments has caused allies off guard. United Kingdom Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer was reportedly left visibly startled in the House of Commons when news broke that Kyiv might have accepted the Trump-brokered term. Starmer told lawmakers he would need to verify the details with Washington and Kyiv before making a formal statement. Russia has reacted by calling the United States draft largely acceptable while dismissing their European alternative as completely inappropriate, signaling that the negotiation track is narrowing to a bilateral dialogue between Moscow and Washington, with Kyiv's reluctant acquiescence. In response to the looming possibility of a peace deal that might compromise Ukrainian sovereignty, the European defense minister have issued stern warning against any agreement that resemble capitulations. French defense minister Catherine Vautrin and her Polish counterpart Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz held a joint press conference in Warsaw to reject any settlement that sidelined Ukraine, emphasizing that the nation's voice must be central to the process. They argued that a surrender-style peace would endanger the entire continent and stressed the need to strengthen the eastern flank of the alliance. In a show of continued military resolve, NATO has strengthened its footprint in southeastern Europe by stationing a multinational battlegroup in Novo, Selo, Bulgaria. Led by the Italian army, this unit is conducting intensive combined armed training to demonstrate the readiness of the alliance to deter aggression. Concurrently, Sweden and France clarified that recent announcement regarding the transfer of Gripen and Rafale fighter jets to Ukraine remains political commitment rather than blinding legal contracts, highlighting the uncertainty that currently pervades Europe defense planning as Washington drives the pace of negotiations. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. With reports confirming that the US and Ukraine are finalizing a revised 19-point peace deal that sidelines the European Union's and potentially remove Ukraine's path to NATO's membership, do you think the US is right to prioritize a rapid end to the conflict to avoid nuclear escalation? Or is Washington effectively abandoning its European allies and sacrificing long-term security for a short-term political win, and why? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate your support. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Like the video, share this video with friends and family, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.